let's talk a little bit about what are some various ways that we could pick up and gather weather information en route. Altimeter settings, whether it's information at our destination, what are the winds doing, whatever it might be. But I'm specifically referring to
you looking to work the sideliner?
A point in the flight where we're too far from our destination to pick up ATIS. So right now, for instance, I am 104 miles from my destination. I can plug in the ATIS frequency and I won't hear anything. But let's say I were curious right now. Let's say I didn't want to open my iPad, or let's say I had an iPad and there was no service.
Roger,
I wanted to know
050, vector for Edwards.
I wanted to know, what are the winds doing? What's the METAR at my destination? So let's talk a little bit about that. There's two ways to go ahead and gather weather information for your destination.
Good for now.
Let's start with a straightforward way, and then we'll start with another way that is actually simpler and quicker, but it straight up just gives you the METAR. It doesn't give you. Let's talk about airport information.
Villain 5-1, roger.
So the first way we'll do it, we want to go to the airport information page. So big knob, we want to scroll to waypoint, actually. So big knob will scroll 2 to the right. Now here's airport information page, but we can see here it's currently on China Lake. And the reason is, if I look at my flight plan, Torrance is in there, but looks like China Lake was actually put in last with my student when I think about it when we're flying in. So it's actually stuck in here, China Lake. But this is a great thing that it happened, because the point of this is your destination airport won't always be the airport that shows up on the airport information page when you go into it. So a habit that you should get into is anytime you show up to the airport information page, your eyes should automatically go to the name of the airport right here that the airport information page is displaying. And that will be the first line of defense for you to catch the fact that the airport information page is displaying an airport that's not yours. So if it's not yours, what we want to do is come here and press in, highlight, and when you have that highlighted with the small knob, we want to go ahead and plug in the airport that we want to display. So KTO A. Enter, and once we do enter, now the whole airport, as you can see, switched to Torrance, and all the information in here is of Torrance. Runway lengths, the type of surface, the coordinates, the field elevation, what type of fuel is there, Zulu time, the whole thing, as well as frequencies down here for the airport. So, specifically, where can we pick up the weather or read the latest METAR for the airport? Once we're in the airport information page, we can see a soft key down here called WX for weather. If we press it, check it out, and look what shows up, METAR. So we can go ahead and read. First thing over here on the top, it shows age 48 minutes ago. This METAR was issued 48 minutes ago at 2150 Zulu. And we can see the wind direction. It's actually decoded. The wind direction is 270 at 13. So runway 29ers in use. Visibility is 10 statute miles. Clouds, few at 1600, scattered at 2000. Temperature 242.14. Easy. Now I could come down here, I could highlight, come down here, and then I could continue scrolling down for the altimeter setting. And I could see here the altimeter setting, let me highlight it, is 2982. So I could see all the information, and it also gives me the original text of the METAR. So I won't plug 2982 in because I have some pressure systems along the route to still fly through. So I will just listen to the altimeter settings that the controller on flight following, the approach controllers, as I check in, give me for updated altimeter settings along the route. But I have a heads up.
51 contact LA 317 127.1, good day.
127.1 for Villain 51.
So I could just get a heads up right now and see, okay, between here and Torrance, the pressure is kind of increased. There's higher pressure down there. So just a little bit of a wrap my head around what's going on. And that's pretty much it. So that's the first place I can get my METAR from. And by the way, this whole exercise, and if you want to go back to where we were, just press Info 1, and it takes us back to the frequency. By the way, this airport information page, you could go to even with no flight plan in the system at all, and you could get to it, just highlight and plug in any airport you want. Any airport you want. The second place that we could get our METAR information from is right from here. If we press flight plan, as long as we have the destination in our flight plan. So we'll highlight. What you want to do is highlight your destination airport, and look what shows up right over here. So I'll do it again. I'm unhighlighting it, and look, I've highlighted the destination, and look what shows up. The exact same METAR. The difference is this isn't decoded, but it's the same METAR. So I could read right over here. It's a Specie, Torrance. It came out at 221, or sorry, it came out on the 2nd at 2150 Zulu. Wind 270 at 13, 10 statute miles, few at 16, scatter 2000, 2414, altimeter 2982. Exactly the same altimeter setting that we had, same information that we read on the previous decoded one, the airport information page. So again, to clarify, there's two ways where you could snag the METAR, the weather information for your destination while en route. First one is 2 clicks to the right to waypoint under airport information. Always you should look at the airport name and make sure it's actually displaying your airport. In my case it is. I could go ahead and click WX, and I could read very nicely the age of the METAR as well as all the information. And if I want to see the altimeter, I could just scroll a little down and it's right there. Second place I could do it is if the airport is a destination in my flight plan. I hit flight plan, highlight, and I could scroll down. As long as I have my destination airport highlighted right here on this little box, I could see the METAR, the weather for my destination. Phenomenal, phenomenal. Makes things really easy. And there we have it. I hope that makes sense. Of course, we also have our iPads and the whole thing, but specifically flying the airplane with the Avionics, this is a very capable system, and there's so much information that it can feed us to where we can fly without an iPad. So, something to keep in mind.